Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Mid Atlantic Championship Wrestling Review Series. This is the June 4th, 1983 edition. We continue to move through 1983. I've got all the way up through March of 85 watched, just catching up with everything in notes, time to record, and all that. We open with Rufus Jones and Jimmy Valiant versus Rene Goulet and Bill White. Jones and Goulet seem to be I guess you'd say, pretty assertive team. Not exactly going to be around for a long time. I wouldn't imagine Jimmy Valiant seems to go bouncing back and forth to Memphis a good bit. But Ric Flair also in town for this particular edition, which is good for business in a number of ways. Anyway, the team of Jones and others here, as the theme plays in the background as I open my tab window in case there's anything I missed. Anyway, there is kind of a brawl with Bill White kind of taking over Rene Goulet. Not here for very long, of course, joining the WWF within a couple of years and staying there for several along the way. Um, there's ultimately a good bit there and manages to get a couple of shots there, and you know uh, Rufus R. Jones getting the kind of a drop kick and shoulder tackle and getting a victory for his team. And obviously, the matches are super simple and getting him where he needs to be. One Man Gang is here. One Man Gang continuing to do the Body Slam Challenge this time, starting $500, which in the time frame of 1983 is a good bit of money. Also, doing the challenge and not really getting anywhere with it, Greg Valentine and Romeo Valentino is a decent enough match. Various people, including Mike Davis, trying the Body Slam Challenge, not getting where they want to get. Valentine still your U.S. champion and goes for the Body Slam and other such thing. Doesn't get what he wants. Gets some ride time on Valentino. Doesn't get him completely cut off. Valentine though manages a couple of shots under the run, and Valentine then with the hammerlock and hits a knee drop. Um, and then, of course, Valentine manages to get a couple of good runs there. Punch kick and gets the figure four, and Valentine victorious once again. Still talking about wanting to get at Piper, still talking about wanting to be the best champion possible, and managing to brawl his way through some trouble and not exactly getting everything he wants there. So, Valentine having his fair share of challengers, but tired of having to constantly defend against the idea of Roddy Piper, and he believes Piper to be gone, so that kind of continues there. Valentine still talking about Piper not being able to defend for himself. Paul Jones out and talking about the nature of things going his way and the increase of 75 words for the uh, uh, you know, that's kind of the way things run there. Um, and ultimately, um, that's kind of where we are. Um, kind of where we are there. Uh, and a deep arm drag along the way, ultimately, and we see what we can see as far as that is concerned. Um, Deep arm drag by Dory Funk Jr. Funk Jr. is, um, kind of where we are, and in the nature of Funk kind of getting a takedown, getting what he needs to get, and ultimately taking down a very young Bret Hart. Bret Hart not in the territory for too long, stays on the arm, hooks up the arm, and manages to get an advantage that way. Hits a tackle along the way and a drop kick under the chin, and ultimately things go along well there. Back elbow by Funk, and we continue to get things going in a good direction, including a figure four and a spinning toe hold by Funk. Funk getting the victory over Hart. Match is worth going out of your way to see. Also, some hype around the fact that Funk Jr. still your Mid-Atlantic champion, although a clear challenger really hasn't been determined in that way there. And so, backdrop on the next match, which happens to be a Kabuki contest. Kabuki coming in and managing to face off against Keith Larson. Larson hits Power Slam and a backdrop on, or Kabuki hits the backdrop, and Kabuki also with a bunch of martial arts chops, of course, managed by Gary Hart along the way here. And we see the jumping of Jimmy Valiant from a few weeks ago. Also, Steamboat and Youngblood claim that they are ready to face the Briscoes or will face the Briscoes at any time. They kind of insinuate they think the Briscoes are ducking them. Then we go into the next in the series of matches, the Briscoes versus Bob Orton Jr. and Johnny Weaver. That's kind of what's there. And takedown, and things go according to plan. Good mat wrestling with in the earlier stages. Orton coming out well and managing to connect that way. Some Irish whips by and a bulldog by one half of the Briscoes, and the Briscoes try to stay on Johnny Weaver. He's the weak link of the team. Also, Funk manages not to take a backward step. Gene Kiniski cuts a rather nonsensical promo post this match as he kind of talks about being undervalued and being a second-generation star. Ric Flair cuts the World Championship promo, putting over everybody in the Carolinas as being major stars. Also, a six-man promo with Bob Orton Jr., Bugsy McGraw, and everybody trying to get rid of the House of Humperdinck going forward, and Joe Sladu part of that. So we'll close with that particular deal there, and we'll catch that way. So in any event, we'll see what we can do. We'll be back with more right after this.